Okay, so as long as we're looking at World War II German stuff, let's look at this thing. This is one of my very few pieces of World War II German radar equipment. This is an SG217. I must say that I've forgotten all my German from high school, so I don't know how to pronounce that properly. It's a little radar scope. SG217. Kind of beat up, but what do you expect? The thing went through a war, and this here, it looks like battle damage? Who knows? I don't know much backstory on this. I got this as part of a kind of complex trade deal with a man in Europe, a collector. And so I don't know, this could have been pulled out of some wreckage many, many years ago. Who knows, maybe even during the war. Neat little thing. SG217. This is part of the FuG217. FuG217. That's about as much German as you're going to get out of me. Also known as the Neptun radar. These were intercept radars fitted to mostly Junkers 88s and a few other aircraft. VHF, very crude, sort of, but apparently they somewhat worked. This is the little indicator box. Let's look at the front. Neat little, maybe about a 3-inch CRT or so. Once again, hard to tell what the phosphor is without lighting it up. Not many controls. These screw things here are actually for locking it in, probably to the rack. I don't have the rack. Aus ein, that's all power. These are actually adjustments here. Flick the window open, or flick the little switch and all the windows open. And then, look at this. So German. You get a little tool. Stick them in. Do your adjustments. Connected by a chain so you don't lose it. Kind of neat. I don't know what the display is like. I don't know much about the Neptun radar. I don't know. I bet you this is more or less just an A-scope. There's not much to it. There can't be. Let's open it up. All right. Case is steel. Probably steel. And German stuff, when you see red on screws or around screws, that generally means something to loosen so you can open whatever it is up or loosen an assembly. It's something that needs something that's not completely structural. It connects pieces together, more or less. Let's put that over to the side. Now we can take a look at the innards here. There is not much to this. Let's get this in the viewfinder. These are the connections. Apparently the rack had a socket. These, I think, were more or less standard World War II German connectors for aircraft stuff. It would slide into a rack and there'd, be a plunk, go right on there. Now you might be asking, okay, I see the CRT. It's obviously in the shield. That's probably mu metal there or something like that. It's got a little writing on it, which I cannot read. Where are the other tubes? Well, they're German tubes. They're neat things. There's one. There's one. There's one. I think there's another one in here somewhere. There's a slightly bigger one there. Weird. Looking at them. Where's the tube? Where's the tube? Well, they're in there. Germans had some very interesting ideas about mounting tubes. The sockets more or less envelop the entire tube. Now you may be wondering, how do I get the things out of there? That's where this comes in. It's actually a tool. It's a little extractor. It's got a very small little threaded nub there. That's a little, they give you a little place to stow it. This is how you take out these German tubes. Let's do this one here. It's not much. It probably could benefit to have a dog point, but I got it in. Now it's in there. Now you can pull the tube out. Isn't that neat? You can see inside there's a cap connection way down in there for the cap of the tube. They're fairly well standardized. In fact, the Germans were very good at keeping the number of tube types to a bare minimum. It helps. It keeps the supply chain so you don't have to supply 10,000 million zillion tubes. You only need to do a few. I will admit that I don't know if this is the right tube lineup. I need docs on this at some point. I think I can get a PDF. Find out what this is all about. I don't have much else of this radar. I have the dynamotor, the power supply, and this. Nothing else. German radar stuff is just so rare. It is so hard to get a system together. You kind of take what you can. Oh, there's a nicer tag here. 6th grade SG217. I guess that's a image machine 217 there or something along those lines. You have a bunch of numbers and codes and things like that, which I don't know about. But yeah, not much to it. Some spot welded construction. Germans really liked their solid wire too. Not much in the way of stranded wire. Oh yes, this is interesting. This is a loose here. See here, this is another red screw here, which means that's something you can loosen to take something apart. And sure enough, I did, because you can actually take this bezel off. Look at this. The CRT actually has a handle. Be a little gentle about this. You can actually pull the CRT out, presumably for quick replacement. Oh, look at that. Nice Telefunken LB1. I guess this is all integral. You're not supposed to take that apart. It's glued in there. I'll have to see if I can dig up data on this, but probably a fairly standard tube. Wehrmacht. BAL, that was kind of I think that was more or less kind of an inspection stamp for stuff for the Luftwaffe. 4044, I don't know if those are dates. I don't know. So this could be 1940, could be 1944. I don't know. I don't know if this particular indicator was used on other sets. There were some similar indicators. Like apparently there was an SG218, an SG216 maybe, for variants of the Neptun radar. Don't know much about them. Now, I can't say that this is an entirely good system they have working here, because it doesn't quite work that well. You got to get this thing just right. Because you have to get the thing into the socket, and in fact, I can see over the years, this was probably a weak point. It looks like the sockets break. Probably if you don't get things in there just perfectly, because I do see a crack there. Hopefully I've got that in right. But interesting. The German systems in their radios and electronic systems were very much made for maintenance. CRT's goes out. Well, you just undo that red screw, twist, pull, out comes the CRT real easily. Same with these tubes. Take the extractor, plug it, screw it in, pop the tube out, put a new one in. What else is here? Now, like I said, not much. A few pots for those controls. You can see where that tool in the front would stick through. You can get to those controls. A few terminal boards. Capacitors. There's a trimmer there. Some more terminal boards, more parts. Very, very European looking. Well, guess what? It's German. So yeah, this is one of those things I would like to find more out, about. I can probably get a copy of a manual at some point. I'm sure that real manuals are very scarce, but that's fine. I could deal with a PDF. Be nice to lube up the dynamotor as well. I think it's called a U10, an U-former or something like that. The rest of the system, gosh, I may never have it. Who knows? German stuff is just so rare. It's even rarer here in the States. It all, what came here, what's here in the U.S. had to come here on purpose. It just wasn't left. Like, this came from Europe, so who knows? Maybe it was found in the woods. I don't know, in a crashed aircraft in 1947. Who knows? I don't have any backstory on it. But it's pretty neat. I'd like to get a trace on that at some point. We'll see. You can turn it on. I think that's on. Ein? Like I said, I've forgotten my German. Anyways, if you like what you see, you want to see more, give a like, subscribe, share, leave a comment, complain, whatever. I'll see what I can do. All right, guys. See you later. Bye-bye.